Alex Pereira posts a video of himself reacting to Israel Adesanya reacting to Leon Edwards defeating Kamaru Usman.
O cara tá esperando ainda. Pô. Eu achei que iria fazer cara de surpresa ainda. Pô, eu achei que iria fazer isso, mas.
Aljamain Sterling on his YouTube channel discusses studying Henry Cejudo's second fight against Demetrius Johnson. Aljo reveals some of the holes in Henry's game that he plans to exploit. Aljo versus Henry goes down at UFC 288 on May 6th.
And I did notice in the Demetrius fight that he did the karate style very much in the beginning, and then as the fight kind of went on and Mighty Mouse started to pick him apart with the leg kicks, he started to switch. I know he had the drop foot in the first round, like the first kick that DJ threw. But just looking at how he changed his stance and then he started to get more square and started to really look for those wrestling takedowns. And even with those takedowns, Mighty Mouse did a great job of hitting the Grammys to get out of there. And Henry had no like real spatial awareness to follow and maintain control in those positions. But he did a good job of covering the hips whenever he did get on top and just staying heavy and settling and catching the head and arm and able to pin Mighty Mouse down to the canvas until Mighty Mouse was able to get to a hip and get to that half guard / single leg and get back up to his feet. So very, very high level stuff. And I like I said, I'm seeing good things. And again, I know Henry didn't get there by accident. I didn't get here by accident. I think that is why the fans are in for a great fight. I think this is going to be a barn burner. And it's going to come down to who wants it more. I think conditioning is going to be a very big factor. We both really want it, but I think it's going to be the first guy to get tired and fatigue. Fatigue will make a coward out of one of us. And I truly don't believe that guy is going to be me. So I like what I see, and I can see some things that I can do already to take advantage of Henry's movement and his attacks that he likes to use. So as
Michael Bisping comments on Justin Gaethje calling him biased after UFC 286.
Kamara, you have a good relationship with him. Curious, did you watch the main event and how did you score it?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he won the fight. But I'm probably as biased as the judges. Certainly not as biased as Michael Bisping, who shouldn't have been nowhere near a microphone during that fight. Yeah, sucks.
Is that something the UFC needs to look at, like having guys who are friends of the people fighting not commentate?
It's not my call. I just thought it was very unprofessional.
A fan tweeted at Bisping saying, "I listened to the commentary during the fight, and Gaethje has no basis for his opinion. From before the fight, during the fight, he was very non-biased." Bisping replied, "Thanks, Doug. I always call it as I see it. And you have to celebrate the winner, regardless of who it is. Can't be sad someone didn't win. Winner in all cases must be celebrated. And I have huge admiration and respect for Usman as a fighter and a person. A true gentleman." John Anik tweeted, "Must say in defense of my broadcast partner Bisping, the man has zero agenda, nor any bias when calling fights. Might even have a closer personal relationship with Kamaru Usman than he does Leon Edwards. He just felt as though Edwards controlled the stand-up, landed more cleanly." Bisping replied, "Thank you, John Anik. Appreciate you greatly." Sean O'Malley on the Bromalley podcast discusses the notion of Conor McGregor fighting at welterweight and potentially getting a title shot at welterweight if he defeats Michael Chandler.
Well, I think the real reason we're all excited for this UFC Kamaru versus Leon is because the winner sounds like he gets maybe a shot at Conor McGregor.
Damn.
Because Conor's the champ.
Well, Conor...
And do you think he deserves a welterweight title shot?
What's the word? What does the deserves mean? Let's look up the definition of deserves before we answer that. Because Conor versus Michael Chandler is at 170. How many fights does Michael Chandler have at 170? 0.
Yeah.
Deserves. Do something or have or show qualities worthy of the reward. So no, he doesn't deserve it. He goes out there and beats Michael Chandler, and Leon Edwards wins. You're telling me UFC isn't foaming at the mouth to make Leon Edwards versus Conor? I don't like that fight for Conor. Leon is a dangerous striker, and he can grapple like a motherfucker, and he's big. But I like that fight probably more than versus Kamaru. Maybe not. I don't know. It's hard to say. We don't know how Conor's going to look at 170. He's coming back from his leg injury.
It's hard when you see his interviews. He seems really focused mentally, but then you still see him drinking a ton and like doing all these things.
On the interview with your mom's basement or whatever, take shots.
So it's like he looks. It's so hard to tell how really focused he is.
I know how grueling fight camps and training camps are, that even when I get to a certain level of success and like he's doing movies and he's saying how crazy hard these movie scenes are, I know when I go into a room full of grapplers that I grapple with that are killers, these young studs coming up, those motherfuckers get good fast.
Yeah.
And if you're not in there with them matching that, you're gonna get passed up. And I just can't see, I don't see Conor in the room and grappling and doing these crazy training schedules. So yeah, I don't know. Will he get the title shot? It's hard to say.
I would just feel like because of
who else would?
Leon Edwards says that he will refuse to sign a contract to fight Colby Covington. Leon made an appearance on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani today. Ariel made the comparison that boxers get to choose who they defend their titles against. Leon replied, "I definitely have a say, you know? And listen, he ain't getting a title shot next. Look at the road I had to take to get here, right? There's no way you get beat twice by the guy I just beat twice. Went and beat Masvidal and then sit out for a year and a half. Not even tweeting or nothing. Just going missing for a year and then randomly pops up at the weigh-ins. It makes no sense. He has to go out there and earn his way like I did." Leon then went on to say how Colby declined fights with Khamzat multiple times, and he accepted a fight with Khamzat. Leon had to pull out of the fight with COVID. Leon says Colby declined the fight and is now getting rewarded for it. However, when he did decline a fight with Khamzat, the UFC removed him from the rankings. Leon says that Colby has Dana White privilege. Ariel replied to Leon saying, "To be clear, if they present this to you guys, you're going to say, no, I'm not doing this?" Leon said, "Yeah, I feel like he needs at least one more fight. Everyone else is fighting and working their way to a title shot. Why should he be sit out for a year doing nothing and then randomly sign for a title? I feel like he should go out there and fight one of the top 5 guys." And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post future ones. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's from Zach H. It says, "Dustin calling out Gaethje is surprising. A lot of risk involved with a rematch with Justin. Respect to Dustin." The second one's from Tito Mag. It says, "Justin versus Dustin Part 2 equals the beginning of the end of the career of whoever loses that fight." And the final one's from Matt Collins. It says, "Pretty wild for Dana to come out so hard for Colby getting the title shot. Wonder if there's more to that story about the Masvidal stuff that earned Colby the guaranteed title shot, or if it's just his talking." Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured on the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. If you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen to get caught up. And make sure to go subscribe to our second channel where we post our exclusive MMA interviews.